Hey guys, at a time when literally everyone was trying to run away from macOS because things were getting a bit too expensive, I did the complete opposite and I shifted to macOS from Windows. So in this video, I'll be covering why I made the shift, why I got annoyed with Windows, how did that entire situation play out, what I like about macOS, what are the problems I have with it, and eventually, do I think it's a good idea for you to switch? This is Danish and you're watching Desault Tech. So let's get started. So I've been a Windows user for as long as I can remember, and I've faced so many of the issues associated with Windows laptops, from drivers to crashes to hard drive malfunctions. One of the first laptops that I had was a HP gaming laptop, but then when I tried to play games on it, there was a sort of problem where it was defaulting to the internal graphics and stuff like this, and there was no patch, and I had to get into the BIOS and do a lot of drama. I had my final straw with Windows when I bought a 95,000 rupee laptop. It was the Lenovo Wi-Fi 10P. So that again is a very high spec gaming laptop. And within 6 months, when Windows 10 released, no drivers for it. And when I upgraded, I literally couldn't get it to work. The Wi-Fi wasn't working, the Bluetooth wasn't working, it was crashing regularly, the speakers were getting muffled up, and I tried various things. I tried rolling it back to Windows 7 and upgrading from there directly to Windows 10. Then I tried going to Windows 8 and then Windows 8.1 and then to 10. Nothing just seemed to work. And I was so frustrated that I spent so much money into this and I can't get any decent support. And literally, they just hands out and said that they're not going to support it anymore. So what do you do in this case? And I dealt with it, and after a few tries, some things worked out. Speakers, I totally given up on speakers, so I was just using headphones all the time. And then things got worse and they started crashing. I'm a student, right? So I have a lot of my assignments and documents there. Like, I was terrified that I was going to lose all my stuff. So that's it. That I was like, I'm done with this. I'm going to buy a better laptop. And so that is when I exactly started looking into Macs. Now, I knew they were expensive and I really didn't want to pay so much, but then I started thinking about it. I did a cost analysis and cost calculation, and how much it would possibly sell for, and I was like, wait, this actually makes a lot of sense. It's going to be cheaper than me buying a Windows laptop, and because Apple has a good reputation of supporting it, it really works out well. I won't face any of the problems that I did with any of the previous things. I finally settled down for a 13-inch with 8GB and 1TB of SSD. So what I initially thought of doing was putting up a VM and having macOS here and then Windows here and switching in between them. And as soon as I got it, the first few weeks, as getting used to any technology is, it was very hard. Like, I couldn't understand the double tap, single tap. Why can't you just make it right click and left click? Where is the right click? Where is the left click? And what they say, that Apple's trackpads are really good. They're not lying. Honestly, they're not lying. They're actually that good. As I started using macOS more, I really liked how it worked. It was very snappy, very intuitive, very easy to handle things. But there were certain things that just drove me mad, literally mad. Why cannot you snap windows? Seriously, why can't you snap windows? Why is saving something onto folders so hard? I can save only to a certain specific folders. I can't dwell deep and place in specific locations. And I really miss the right click, get a new Word document, or all those things. So not everything was that perfect in the beginning. Honestly, when I got it, I was wondering why people were making such a big fuss about macOS, because in the first 2 weeks that I had it, I'd already crashed it 3 times. And I was like, that never happens to me on Windows. Why is it happening now? And a few things just glitched out at times, and the touch bar used to get stuck, and literally everything is on the touch bar. All controls are there to either lock it or do whatever I want. So sometimes when I would press the brightness indicator and slide across it, it would just get stuck, and then it was just that indicator, nothing else. And there's no escape key. You can do nothing to get it working again. You can't move it again, so you just have to physically kill it. And start from the beginning again. When I googled to find out more, it turns out that this latest build is pretty buggy, and it's been literally one of the worst builds ever that Apple has released, and a lot of people are facing issues. But what I love is that within like 2 weeks I could visibly see a difference, like visibly see things getting fluider. The touch bar wasn't freaking out anymore and just getting stuck there. Things were just getting a lot more smoother and faster, and the battery life also suddenly increased. I don't know how, I don't know what Apple did, but the battery life suddenly increased by 2 hours. I have no idea. And as per consumer reports, apparently it's going to get even better, because there was a bug with Safari that was draining a lot of power, but they fixed that, and possibly in the next beta it'll be out. Things were getting really good, and honestly I don't know why people would go back to Windows. I personally think macOS is very decent. I love how thought out things are. Like, it's the little things, that stand out and get to you. Feel like, oh, they thought about even that. And things just look so much better here. I was using the PDF, Adobe's PDF reader, and the way I can mark things, circle things, and draw icons, it looks so much better. Even the way macOS handles highlighting looks better. Okay, I know I sound like a fanboy at this point, but I'm not kidding. I'm really honest with you. Even that looks better. I don't know how they do it, but because everything has to go through Apple and Apple is completely in control, they make things work really, really well. So should you get a Mac or switch to macOS? That would really, really depend upon your use case. Like, I'm not saying this just to not piss off certain sections of the society who are very, no, I want Windows and no, I want Mac. But like, honestly, it depends on what you do. Okay, if you are okay with running a VM, first of all, get a 16GB model. You need that minimum. Otherwise, your computer will crash. And then, if you really need to check if all the applications you use on a regular basis are there in Mac. If they are, make the jump. I am telling you very honestly that shifting to Mac, even though I've just used it for a month now, is one of the best things I've ever done. And I'm so happy with the purchase. I know it's a lot of money, and the only gripe I have is that, man, I should have bought the 15-inch because I'm making videos now. But honestly, it's a good investment to make. Now, I'm not a fanboy, okay? I used to crib on how much I hate Apple, but credit due where credit is meant to be due. They have really, optimized their software in a very, very good way. So that's all from me. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up. If you want, you can subscribe. Just hit that tiny button there. It's probably there. No, wait, there. Okay, there. Okay, got it. You can follow me on social media over here. And if you want more content like this, comment down below on what you want to see next. Until next time, this is Desault signing off. Bye-bye.